Hello, I am Miss Regina and I am a volunteer with Beloit Public Library as a booklegger, and I have a few books that I want to share with you today. The first one I have is Don't Throw It to Mo. It says, Mo Jackson loves football, but nobody will throw him the ball. How can he help his team win? I've read this book, so I know what happens, but you're going to have to check it out to see why they don't throw it to Mo. And I don't know if you can see this picture, but that's Mo, and these are his teammates. Just looking at this picture, you can probably guess why they won't throw it to Mo. It's a little tiny, but you never know. Great things come in small packages. So check this one out and see what happens with Mo Jackson. The next one I have is Rainforests. Drip, drop, rain falls softly on the forest canopy. What animals can you see? So we just saw pictures, or a few pictures, of Mo Jackson and his teammates. They're drawn. But this book has actual photographs. And what that tells us is that this book is nonfiction, which means it's facts. So Don't Throw It to Mo would be fiction, made up in the author's mind. This one, facts. They share facts about animals and plants in the rainforest around the world. So if you're interested in learning about rainforests, check this one out. Next I have Only One You or Nadie Como Tú. One thing I like about this book is that it's both in English and Spanish. And even if you don't know how to read in Spanish, give it a try. On every page, whatever it says in English, there's also the sentence in Spanish. And this book also has so many beautiful pictures and lots of colors. And it's all about what makes us unique. There's only one you in this world. So check this one out to see what happens. The next one I have is probably my favorite book because I love to travel. And this says A Journey Around the World. And throughout this book, it has different countries where you can learn facts about countries and continents. The first one is Africa. And what I love about this is, as I was flipping through the book, I've been to many of these countries. So South Africa, I've actually visited. Kenya was probably my favorite trip of all. And I actually brought a treat for you all from Kenya. My necklace is from Kenya. The ladies of a certain tribe made that for me. And then I have these carved, we put it on a keychain, but these carved Kenyan people, and they have a beaded necklace like mine. So those were carved specially for me in Kenya. And then I have some Kenyan shillings. This is 50 shillings and then 1,000. So their money looks a little bit different than ours, right? Different colors, different sizes, but you'll see if you travel around the world. And even if you can't right now, you can do it in your minds, in your imagination, by learning more about the countries. They have all the facts that you need to know about Africa, or all the countries. We talk about Asia and China. I haven't been to Asia, but it's on my list. Europe, I actually visited Europe this year with my daughter, which was a fun trip. And we went to France, and we saw the Eiffel Tower there. How many of you can remember, or do you know what city the Eiffel Tower is in France? Think about it. Italy, I had the best pizza in Italy. And then England, where I saw the Buckingham Palace, and there's a picture there. So there's lots of fun facts to learn about in Adventure Awaits, A Journey Around the World. Check it out. Next, I have a chapter book, and you probably have heard it before. It's The Adventures of Captain Underpants. And I know some of you have seen the movie or watched the show, but I always encourage you to read the book. Sometimes they leave things out in the movie. Sometimes they add things that aren't in the book. But what I love about the book, or any book, is that you become the producer. You can imagine what things look like just by reading the words, and then you become the producer and the director in your head. So this one if you don't know about the adventures of Captain Underpants, it says, George and Harold have created the greatest superhero in the history of their elementary school. And now they're going to bring him to life. Meet Captain Underpants. His true identity is so secret, even he doesn't know who he is. And if you don't know George and Harold, they get into lots and lots of trouble. So this one has 20 chapters, but they'll go by just like that. So make sure you check this one out and see what happens with George and Harold and the adventures of Captain Underpants. Lastly, I have The Chocolate Touch. John Midas loves chocolate. So does Miss Regina. He loves it so much that he'll eat it at any hour of any day. He doesn't care if it ruins his appetite. He thinks chocolate is better than any other food. But one day, after wandering into a candy store and buying a piece of their best chocolate, John finds out there might just be such thing as too much chocolate. I hope that's not true. This one is, 12 chapters. They're a little longer than the chapters in Captain Underpants, but still, you'll get through it just fine. You've got to check this out to see what John Midas eats to get him sick, or how he discovers that there may be such thing as too much chocolate, which we really hope is not true. So I have The Chocolate Touch, The Adventures of Captain Underpants, Adventure Awaits, A Journey Around the World, Miss Regina's favorite, Only One You or Nadie Como Tú, Rainforests, and Don't Throw It to Mo. I look forward to seeing what you learn when you read all of these books.